Survival Among the Waves. My name is Jack, and I have always dreamed of ocean adventures. Among the endless waves, I find peace and inspiration that I can't find anywhere else. This time, I embarked on a journey alone on my small boat, enjoying the freedom and distance from everyday life. But everything changed in an instant. The morning was clear and calm. The sun was high in the sky, and the waves gently embraced my boat. I looked at the horizon, thinking about all the adventures that awaited me ahead. My boat was my reliable companion, with whom I had already covered many miles. This time, I will go further than ever, I said to myself, sailing away from the shore. The first few days were perfect. I enjoyed every moment, every breath of fresh sea air. In the evenings, I sat on the deck, listening to the quiet sound of the waves and gazing at the starry sky. The feeling of freedom was incredible. The vast ocean lay before me, and behind me were the worries of everyday life, left somewhere far away on the shore. I savored every moment, every breath of fresh sea air. It felt like I was the only person in the whole world on this vast expanse of water. The sun rose and set, illuminating the waves with its golden light. It was magical. On the third day of my journey, I began to notice changes in the weather. Clouds were gathering on the horizon, and the wind was getting stronger. But I didn't pay much attention to it. I decided to continue my course, ignoring these signs. In the evening, the weather worsened. The wind picked up so much that the boat started rocking. I realized a storm was coming. I never thought the weather could change so quickly, I thought, preparing for the storm. The wind became so strong that my boat started to sway. The waves were getting higher and higher. Water began to flood the deck, and I knew I had to act immediately. "Hold on, Jack," I told myself, trying to keep my balance and steer the boat. "You can survive this." But the storm was relentless. Thunder rumbled, lightning lit up the sky, and the waves carried me somewhere into the unknown. My boat was tossed around like a toy in the hands of an angry sea. I tried to bail out the water, but it was futile. The water was flooding the boat, and I realized the only way to survive was to hold on. I tied myself to the boat with a rope to avoid being washed overboard. Each wave felt stronger than the last. The water was cold and merciless, but I couldn't give up. At dawn, the storm subsided. The ocean was calm again, but my boat was severely damaged. I sat on the deck, exhausted and soaking wet. I had survived, but now a new challenge lay ahead: survival. Checking my supplies of food and water, I realized they were limited. Now every sip and every bite had to be conserved. "Now I need to think about survival," I told myself. "You can do this, Jack." I checked my supplies: a few bottles of water, some canned food, dry rations, and other items that could help me survive. It wasn't much, but I knew I had to make it last as long as possible. The first few days after the storm were tough. I tried to repair the boat as much as possible. But the main task was to find food and water. I started fishing using anything I could find. It was challenging, but a few times I managed to catch fish. The next few weeks became a real test. The sun's heat became unbearable, and thirst and hunger were my constant companions. I tried to catch fish using anything I could find. Each day I scanned the horizon, hoping to see another ship, but in vain. "You can't give up," I repeated to myself every morning. "You must fight until the end." Each day was a new challenge. Each hour under the scorching sun felt like an eternity. The water was running out quickly, and I had to collect rainwater whenever it rained. It was the only way to survive. I made a small system for collecting rainwater using plastic bottles and a piece of canvas. Every drop was worth its weight in gold. I learned to conserve water and food, consuming as little as possible. Days turned into weeks. Each day I woke up hoping to see a ship on the horizon. But the ocean remained empty. Just me and the endless waves. One evening, as the moon rose high above the ocean, I felt I couldn't go on any longer. My strength was leaving me, and I began to lose hope. But suddenly, I saw a shadow in the water. It was a shark. It was approaching my boat, and I realized the danger had become even more real. "Not today," I told myself, fending off the shark with a paddle. "You won't get me." It was one of those moments when I felt I couldn't go on. But something changed inside me. I realized I needed to fight to the end, even if the chances of survival were slim. The next days became a battle for survival. I discovered water in places I didn't expect to find it. I learned to collect condensation that formed on cold surfaces at night. It was a small amount, but it helped me hang on. The following morning, as the sun was just beginning to rise, I saw a ship on the horizon. At first, I thought it was a mirage, but with each passing moment, it came closer. "This is real," I said to myself, not believing my luck. "I am saved." I began signaling with a mirror, trying to attract the crew's attention. The ship approached, and I saw people on the deck. They noticed me. As the ship got closer, the captain called out to me, "We saw you from afar. How did you end up here?" "Long story," I replied, feeling my strength returning. "Thank you for finding me." Standing on the deck of the rescue ship, I looked at the horizon, which now seemed different to me. I knew this experience had changed me forever. Now I understood that life could be unpredictable, but there is hope in every wave. It was a hard journey, I told myself, but I survived. And that's the main thing. The end of this journey marked a new beginning for me. I returned home, but my love for the ocean remained. I knew I would return to these vast expanses one day, which had given me so many trials and so much hope. After the rescue, I often thought about the past and what led me to this journey. My parents always supported my passions, especially my father, who was a sailor himself. He taught me everything he knew about the ocean. His stories about sea voyages were bedtime tales for me. "Jack, remember, the ocean can be both a friend and a foe," he used to say. "The main thing is to respect it and always be ready for surprises." The memory of my father gave me strength in those tough moments on the boat. I recalled his advice and tried to follow it, even when everything seemed lost. My mother always worried about me when I set out on my journeys. She was my greatest support, even if she sometimes didn't understand my passion for the sea. Her words about caution and care always echoed in my ears, especially during the storm. During my days on the boat, I thought a lot. My thoughts were chaotic, but they helped me stay sane. I pondered life, my place in this world, and what makes us human. Why do we always seek adventures? What drives us to go beyond the usual? I thought, maybe it's our nature to strive for the unknown, to seek new horizons. I thought about how the ocean could symbolize life. It is vast, unpredictable, and dangerous, yet beautiful and full of opportunities. Every wave, every wind is part of a big game we all participate in. There were moments when I almost gave up. Nights were especially tough. The darkness and cold of the ocean were merciless, and I felt my strength leaving me. Once, as I sat on the deck, hugging my knees, I heard a splash of water. It was a pod of dolphins playing around my boat. They're so close, I thought. Maybe they came to support me. It was a miracle. The dolphins lifted my spirits, reminding me that I was not alone in this vast world. Their presence gave me hope, which I almost lost. When the rescue ship finally picked me up, I felt relief that is hard to describe in words. The people on the ship were kind and caring. They fed me, gave me dry clothes, and a place to rest. The ship's captain, Richard, told me about his team and their mission. They were scientists studying ocean currents and marine life. Their ship was equipped with modern equipment, and I was impressed by their work. "You're a real lucky one," Richard said as we sat on the deck. "Not everyone survives in such conditions." "I just couldn't give up," I replied, looking at the horizon. The ocean taught me a lot. And the main thing is never to lose hope. Returning home, I felt different. This journey had changed me, made me stronger and wiser. My family was immensely happy to see me alive and well. My mother hugged me, tears streaming down her face, and my father looked at me proudly. "You did it, Jack," he said. "I always believed in you." I began sharing my story with others, hoping to inspire them. My friends and acquaintances listened to me with fascination, and I felt my story mattered.